Hello and thanks for joining us this Wednesday. I'm Mackailyn Johnson. Here are some of the headlines we're bringing you today at noon. Warmer temperatures aren't exactly what many Arkansans want right now, but that's okay with ARDOT. In less than 1 minute, how the Department of Transportation is preparing for the upcoming winter weather season. And 'tis the season for holiday decorations, lights, ornaments, and plants. Some items are safe around fur babies. At 12:18, our Verify team shares the facts on what is safe around your pets and what's not. Last night, some of your favorite celebrities were honored at the People's Choice Awards. We have the details just ahead. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Scott Covert. Scott, all morning I feel like you were saying it's going to be dreary, wet, going to be a lot more of that, I assume.
One of those days, and very little is going to change. In fact, not only are we going to be dealing with the overcast skies, the dreariness of what's happening outside today will continue into this evening. And then again tomorrow, we'll probably need those umbrellas. Here at the noon hour, this is what radar is tracking. You'll notice some scattered showers moving from the southwest towards the north and east. For the most part, most of this rain has been on the light side. Some drizzle, some occasional raindrops. Right now, between Conway and Greenbrier, they're on State Highway 65. Oh, let's say near Woolly Hollow State Park, you're probably seeing a little bit more of that moderate to heavy rainfall. Temperature-wise, well, most of us are in the 50s and 60s, but in South Arkansas, quite a difference. We actually got some 70s in that part of the state. That's on the warm side of a stationary front that is stalled out, keeping rain chances in our forecast. We're not going to see much fluctuation in today's temperatures. We're in the low 60s now. We might warm up a degree or two more before the sun sets this evening, and then temperatures start to trail off. Scattered showers, some thunder not only possible, as you can see on today's futurecast, but tomorrow's as well. Likely to be a wet day across the state. But finally on Friday, we'll get a little bit of sunshine. The rain recedes for at least one day before moving back in this weekend. That forecast is coming up.
Thanks, Scott. Now, if you're driving around today and see snow plows on the road, don't worry, there's no snow on the way. It's hard to think about winter weather with highs near 70, but that's exactly what's happening. ARDOT is testing its equipment to make sure it's ready for snow and ice this winter. The winter drivers performing equipment checks and maintenance and road testing snowplow trucks. ARDOT officials say this type of preparation is crucial. It helps them see both their strengths and areas for improvement. That way, if sleet, snow, or ice head our way, Arkansans will be safe on the roads. Now we'll have more on ARDOT's winter weather strike team training tonight at 5 and 6. Turning now to education. If your child goes to school in the metro area, you may have seen low grades from the state for their school. This afternoon, we take a look into what school and state officials say can be done to solve these problems. Our Sarah Hobakowitz is breaking down what's next in Arkansas education.
The recent low rankings of Arkansas schools has parents like Tristina McJoy concerned.
State took control because the grades were failing. So I was like, I'm gonna put my kids across town.
Tristina has changed between 4 different school districts over the past few years, now in the Jacksonville area, all in a search for a better education.
More programs, more opportunities, more hands-on assistance.
But families like hers only have so many options if they want a school that passed the state evaluation last year. In the metro area, 2 out of every 3 elementary schools got a D or failing grade. So, what are school districts doing to improve?
Work on the critical elements of reading, writing, making sure that you have an algebra-based curriculum.
Superintendent Charles McNulty of the Pulaski County Special School District says even if a school is failing in the state rankings, it can still have other areas of growth.
2 schools that are currently failing had outstanding growth with new leadership and a passionate staff. We're seeing great results this year.
Individual school districts aren't the only ones looking for change. Our state leadership is also hoping for improvement. Education Secretary Johnny Key sharing in a statement, as expected, this year's reports do not reflect a complete recovery from the pandemic's effect on student learning. However, the results do reflect a rebound from the previous year. Our next governor calling for more immediate improvements.
My biggest priority as governor is on education, is because I think it's the place that we have the greatest ability to lean into and bring generational change to our state.
And all leaders hoping to overcome pandemic struggles.
We saw some of our young people who, would have been good readers in 2nd grade, didn't get that reading engagement that they needed at home. We're catching them up.
Hoping that a greater focus in the classroom can help.
I was a principal of a failing school in Illinois, and we became a school of excellence. So I know what it takes to get there, and I know how it affects the community.
And after chasing better schools, Tristina is putting her focus at home as well.
You need to worry about their mental health and if they're eating and getting a good night's sleep. And what can we do to get that? Because if that changes, maybe they can get some better education.
Reporting in Little Rock, Sarah Horbakowitz, THV 11 News.
Sanders also said she expects to propose new laws about education over the next few weeks. She takes office as governor January 10th. And sticking with Governor-elect Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she is nominating Mike Mills to become the new Secretary of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism. Mills owns Buffalo Outdoor Center, billed as the state's first log cabin resort in Ponca along the Buffalo River. If approved, it will be his second stint leading tourism in Arkansas. He was Director of Tourism under Governor Frank White, beginning in 1982. However, the announcement took place at the A-State University offices, and the governor-elect found herself answering questions about education plans in her new administration.
The reason that my focus and my biggest priority as governor is on education is because I think it's the place that we have the greatest ability to lean into and bring generational change to our state.
There's no word yet on other cabinet plans, including Secretary of Education. The small town of Earl in eastern Arkansas near Memphis just elected the youngest black mayor in the country. The town of about 2,000 people chose 18-year-old Jalen Smith as its next mayor. Jalen recently graduated from high school and still lives at home with his parents. Even at a young age, he has important plans for his hometown, with his challenger offering his support.
First, I want to improve public safety here. Secondly, tear down abandoned houses, transportation here for the community, bring a grocery store here.
Everything has been cordial. If I can help him do anything, he would. I'll do it, and likewise with him.
Both candidates are friends, and their families have known each other for years. Shifting to national news, the results were close, but CBS News projects Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock will win the Senate runoff race against Republican Herschel Walker. Skylar Henry is in Atlanta with the story.
The people have spoken.
Senator Raphael Warnock celebrated his re-election with supporters after squeaking out a narrow victory over Republican challenger Herschel Walker.
I don't want any of you to stop believing in America. I want you to believe in America and continue to believe in the Constitution and believe in our elected officials most of all. Continue to pray for them.
Warnock promised to represent all Georgians when he gets back to Washington.
The work that we must do is difficult. The issues are not simple, they're complex. But here's my promise to you, I will walk with you even as I work for you.
The race here had undertones of the presidential election, as Walker was former President Trump's hand-picked candidate. Additionally, Tuesday night's results show Georgia will remain competitive in the 2024 presidential election.
Raphael Warnock, an amazing man who has now had 4 victories in 2 years in what was regarded as a red state.
President Biden tweeted out a photo of his phone call to congratulate Warnock and added, "Georgia voters stood up for our democracy, rejected ultra-MAGAism, and most importantly, sent a good man back to the Senate." Skylar Henry, CBS News, Atlanta.
Now in health news, flu activity continues to increase across the country. The early intense flu season has increased demand for antiviral medications. Bradley Blackburn shows us how these antiviral medications can help if you're sick.
Flu cases are increasing around the country, with 47 states or jurisdictions reporting very high or high flu activity. That's driving up the demand for antiviral medications to treat the flu.
If you're somebody who's older, if you have underlying medical conditions, you really should consider getting a prescription for an antiviral drug if you get the flu. These drugs have been shown to reduce the duration of illness, but really importantly, to reduce your likelihood of ending up in the hospital or even dying.
Tamiflu is one of the most commonly prescribed antivirals. The pill or liquid is taken for 5 days. The newest antiviral, Xofluza, is a single dose. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounders says start the course as soon as possible for the biggest benefits, usually within about 2 days of getting sick.
If you stop too soon, you can have a rebound of the virus, you can have a rebound of symptoms, and so it's really important to complete that course. If you don't complete the course, you're also at more risk for the virus developing resistance.
Side effects can vary. Nausea and vomiting are the most common with Tamiflu. Diarrhea is most common with Xofluza.
You can get side effects with really any medication, and sometimes those can be allergic reactions, a rash, sometimes that can be GI upset. But what's really important to understand is these side effects are rare, they're mild.
And with COVID-19 cases on the rise, antiviral medications like Paxlovid can help people at high risk of developing severe illness. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
We'll have more on how to manage flu symptoms tonight at 5 and 6, plus what local health officials say are the biggest challenges with this flu season. The holidays are here, and that means we may need to keep some items away from pets. The Verify team has info that can help in 8 minutes. Scott?
Sure has been a gloomy day thus far. We're likely in for more rain, not just tonight, but again tomorrow. I'm tracking some sunshine, but then weekend rain chances could put in again another damper on things. I've got that extended forecast for you coming up right after this short break.